Hi Edward, today I'm going to be teaching you how to pollinate begonias with this lovely Costa Rican cane begonia, but essentially you can do this with any begonia. Alright, first thing first, you need to know that begonias are what we call monoecious plants, and monoecious plants are plants that produce the male and female flower on the same plant. However, the thing about begonia is they produce the male and female flower separately on different flowers. So there is a male flower and there is a female flower, but they both occur on the same plant. So how do you identify the male flower from the female flower? In this particular case, this species produces them both at the same time. So we're lucky we can see them both now. Let me get a sample. There's one right here. Let's see if my camera can focus. No, not really. Let me try and do this. Nope. A bit better. Alright, I think that's the most we're gonna get out of my camera, my phone camera. Okay, so I want you to see on the top side here, the most upper flower is the male flower. The male flowers are these two-petal flowers with a yellow pom-pom ball in the middle, and those are basically the was it the anthers? I think so, that produce the pollen. So all you need to do is use a small fine hair brush and lightly scrape off the pollen. You'll see them come off like a cloud of dust, which I'll be demonstrating in a second. And then right below here we see the female flower. Alright, this particular species is unique because the male flowers are produced right above the female flowers, and therefore they sort of self-pollinate. You know, gravity takes effect, pulls some of the pollen down, lands on these these stigmas, the receptive stigmas, and then they get pollinated, and then they form seeds. But in the usual cases, you will need to manually pollinate the plants. These plants usually avoid self-pollination in the wild by producing the male and female flowers at a different time. Usually the male flowers come a week earlier than the female flowers, so you never get to see them together. And therefore, if you just wait for things to happen, nothing's gonna happen because they are not self-pollinated. Then you'll just be waiting for the female seeds to dry up and they'll become duds. Nothing will germinate. Alright, I'll show you what healthy seed is supposed to look like in a minute. So first thing first, let's jump back a little bit to the female flowers. The female flowers all have the same characteristic in all the begonia species. They have these antler-like appendages, which are basically the stigmas, the receptive stigmas. They're actually like fine brushes that, if you look under the microscope, they catch the male pollen really well. And then they have this triangular build to them. As you can see here, they have these little sort of like flaps. Here's one flap on the top side, and on the bottom there are two flaps. Alright, as you can see here. Now what these do is that when they dry up, the whole ovary of the plant becomes a very good seed dispersal unit in the wind. Alright, so that little triangular shaped lump that you're mentioning looks sort of like, hold on, let me get a sample, like this when it dries up. Alright, it's still attached to the plant, but now these flaps catch the wind very well because they are so light. Alright, and when you turn them upside down and when you spill them over, you sort of spill them over. Not sure if this one's ready to go yet. No, not quite. Some seeds will fall out, and that's when you get the ripe seed. So, repeating what you need to do, all you need to do is get a fine hair brush and scrape off the pollen. Hopefully I can get some good footage here. It's so difficult to do this with one hand. Usually what I do is use one hand to hold the brush and one hand to hold the flower, and then, you know, get down to business. But you get the idea. Alright, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's some yellow grain pollen stuck on the brush, and all you need to do is just transfer that pollen onto the female flower. Usually I do that with another individual, but for the purposes of this video, I'll just be doing it on the same. Alright, so we just do that, and that's pollinated. And then it'll form the seeds, which will be trapped inside these little capsules. Alright, so I'm going to show you what those seeds look like. I have some here. There we go. Okay, as you can see, once the little triangular shaped pods are crushed, they release their seed and they'll just be collected in the paper, and then you can sort of like funnel the paper into another paper, and then you have a bunch of seed. You can sell the seed, you can sow the seed, and if you do sow the seed, they will form baby begonia plantlets, and yeah, you've already done it, so nothing new there. So basically, that's how you get the whole process started. It's basically pollinating male to female. That's all. Alright, bye.